really apparent if you looked at mainstream television in the first part of the 21st century, that what we were seeing was the production of a lot of British, European animations which kind of had an eye on the American market on a more of a global setting, but really were about investigating social attitudes, that were really sort of revealing political dialogues, shifts in values, really in this kind of post-Tony Blair environment. I think these were animations which absolutely reacted, or were kind of in some ways the end result of the success of things like The Simpsons, of South Park, etc. Which television companies then think television animation can be a 30-minute sitcom, it can be a sketch show, it can be something which can be accessed by mainstream audiences. And although the book is called Animation, it's got animation in the title, it really is a story about British television comedy. It's also, I think, in many ways, it's a book about the end of television. Monkey Dust, for example, a BBC Three sketch show that ran for 2003-2005. It's a startling piece of work. Still incredibly acerbic, kind of very, very difficult to watch at times, quite bleak. Peter Bainham's I'm Not an Animal, which I think is so underrated. That's a wonderful show. And that really did address a few issues around consumerism and identity. A real satire in every sense of the word. Too often in academic practice, I think we ignore the mainstream, and we kind of, in some ways, I think there's this sort of thought that the argument's been won. Really, there's not much more you can say about that. I don't really think that's the case. I think that history and theory are very important, as much that we need to know where we've been if we're going to know where we're going. Now, we are into uncharted territories, I think, with the explosion of the internet and with kind of digital cultures, but I do think that the mainstream is something we need to keep an eye on, that we need to keep assessing. And I think it's important that we keep that focused in what we do as academics. How do these animations fit into a story? How do they fit into an institutional narrative? I think that's really important. So it's just a way of giving things shape. It's a way of telling us. It's telling a story. I think a missing story.